I want to show you something. This right here is a very minty 020T from back. So back in the 90s, when I first got started, this is the first real saw that I bought. This is the saw that started the cool saw era for tree climbers. The 020T. I remember this big knob. You'd look down, you'd be working and your cover would be missing, and you'd find it on the ground all the time because something would bump this knob and it would fall off. So this is Clarence Bartow's saw. He is the legendary two-time world champion speed climber, local hero around here. This is the original bar. He said that he's run 5 chains through it, and I'll run it for you. I took the spark arrestor out. It sounded like when I fired it up last night. Took the spark arrestor out, and after that it sounded perfect. This saw is not only a collector's item, but it's a legit good saw, and I'm actually going to use it on a tree to show you today. Clarence wants me to sell it for him. I'm tempted to keep it, but I need it about as much as another hole in my head. So what I'd like to do is have you buy it. That's right, you're the one. Well, the best offer over 1,000. Okay, let me know and I'll sell it for Clarence. And then also, this is Clarence's Weaver harness. So this is the kind of harness I wore for many years and destroyed my back wearing. Okay, it's a seat saddle, and this is the back support right here. This was the extent of the harness, okay, minus this padding. This padding is based on the Monkey Beaver 2.0, and Joe made this padding both on the seat and on the waist portion, and of course we added suspenders to it. And so this harness is now good for your back. So if any of you have an old Weaver harness and you cannot afford the full Cadillac Monkey Beaver 2.0 or 1.0, and you want the good back support, we'll do this for you if you have one of these old harnesses. And I don't know, maybe around 150 bucks, you could turn your harness into a comfortable, ergonomic, healthy choice for you. So I think it's a really great idea. Not everybody wants to go over 600 deep into a harness, but they have something like this laying around. It doesn't change the life support at all on the harness, because this is just with this elastic cord, this is just put on inside the waist belt and inside the seat. So you can put this thing together and it changes nothing about the harness except for the comfort. Totally same harness, same life support qualities, whatever they are, which are substantial, and yet you get the comfort. So just showing this to you. I'll actually climb in this today. I got some sketchy sugar pine back there that I'll probably shoot into and go up. I'll use the saw, I'll use this old harness, and that's all I wanted to say this morning, and I'll see you in the tree. Dear Lord, please allow this throw line to not bird's nest. It bird's nested. It's good to have childlike prayers, childlike faith, but you gotta mix it with a little better preparation too, because this thing was just beating around in the truck, and I could tell when I looked in it that it had a few tangles. But your impatience does not mean that faith is unfounded. Why the tangle? I had it all situated. That was a perfect shot. If it hadn't have snafu'd down here, this is the kind of thing that makes me want to climb a dead tree with no safety line right here. The silent spider. I don't know if you can tell, but like these are brand new looking because Clarence never hooked up this part. He just used this, right? Typical pole climber type guy. Didn't feel the need for any of this, but he's starting to get into that now. All right, first cuts for me for Clarence's old saw. I'm wearing his belt. It feels pretty good in the back support area. I don't like the way these seat saddles kind of jam your legs together without a spreader here. But yeah, it's not a Cadillac, but it's a vast improvement over what it was stock. As you can see, I'm SRT out of that green one that we shot into. This thing is crispy for sure. Like the stem is wiggling way down here, which is a little funky. Get out of there. So far, so good. It's just not perfectly razor sharp is all. I mean, the teeth are good, but the Raggers are high. I think it could use a little adjustment too. Even though it's idling good, I feel like it might be losing a little power at the top. Yeah, this tree, I'm super glad I have the safety now that I'm sponging into it, because it's bad. Sugar pine is one of the trees that breaks down. Its wood constitution doesn't stay very good for very long after it's dead. The fir tree is way stronger than a sugar pine. 2 years. 2 years after they're dead, a fir tree would be way stronger than a sugar pine of the same date of death. The worst is alder, I think. And I've heard bad things about that. Those ash trees back east. I've seen bad things. I was over there one time and they were taking them apart with a some kind of grapple machine. I forget what it was. I remember it was a Cinnabogin, or however you say it. And they were Butterfinger bar type of constitution. Something about the emerald ash borer and what it did to them or something. I don't know, we don't really have that over here, so they look like they're behaving kind of like alders when they die. I remember one time when I was newer, a lot newer to tree work, I was like productive, really good at ripping trees apart. So I wasn't new, but I was working for this guy and he was a Jedi. I looked up to him a lot and he sent me to take down these alders. He didn't say anything about any other way to take them down besides climb them. And so I went there and I was like, dang, these things are no good. But I was like, well, Scott said to take them out, so he must know that I can trust him enough. So I went up and I was up in these things. I was up in this one and I was trying to reach around and get some of these others. But I was really, like, even now I'm kind of, whoa, what am I doing to the stem here, you know? Only it was worse. At least I hope it was worse. Anyway, I was up there and piecing them out, and Scott, I saw him, his truck drive up, and he comes onto the job. And I shouted down to him, oh yeah, well, these are pretty sketchy, man. And he's all, no kidding. I didn't think you were gonna climb those. I thought you were gonna use a throw ball and break them out with a throw line. And I was all, oh no. It's like, I'm already there and he's telling me. So it's good to think for yourself, I guess. Not just follow the lemmings off the cliff. Come on, baby. Let me get a little higher so that I have less force on the stem when I tip it. You guys might see me kind of cutting these off, but tipping these, it's because I don't want a bunch of limbs all hung up in this, because when I'm coming down I want to be done. If I just, whoa, if I just hacked them all off, a bunch of them would hang up. I'll sneak up a little higher. and so far your harness is more comfortable than it used to be, and it is sufficiently getting me access to where I want to go. Another secret little trick I can do the tree leans out this way, so if I keep my weight over here, then I'm kind of forcing it further into its own lean. But if I come here on the belly side and I lean back against this safety line, then I'm like guying the tree while I'm working on it. You know what I mean? The reason I'm talking about that right now is because it's starting to get worse up here. All right, what do you think, guys? Sneak a little higher? Carl Kinsella, what do you think? Sneak a little higher? Kathy, what do you think? What do you think, Jeff Richards? Sneak a little higher? Huh? What do you think, Dorinda? What do you think, Jerry? What do y'all think? Climb high, cut small? What do you think, Dorinda? Teensy bit higher? Hmm? Yeah? Okay. Alright. You say so. Go a little higher on this thing. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This thing is... This is where I like to be, right here. I was watching the little birds land on the rotten, sketchy dead stuff. So if it broke, it would be George of the Jungle right there. Okay. All right, enough scaring the audience. So that cut, that slice, that kept the thing from tipping and pushing on the stems in a lateral, in a side pressure way, side force way, I should say. You have to be careful when you're cutting them like that, the bottom doesn't drop out and then the whole top creams you as it goes past you. Every limb is like another train car. I call it the passing train. I've done it wrong a few times and been clobbered by the passing train. No, get off of there. So, somebody might be thinking, you're in the woods. Why take the risk? Why don't you fall that? Trying to get views, trying to get clicks. It's not worth your life, blah, blah, blah. I hear all kinds of stuff like that. But it's because they're ignorant to the risks. You guys can see that I'm safety line tied back here. Okay, so yes, it's the woods, but there's a fence right there, and there's other items and little trees and stuff that the guy is preserving. And that's what tree guys do, is they're called when people have things around their removal that they would like to keep. Like the house, like the shed, like the garden. It varies. Yeah, that fence is dead under me, so that's why I couldn't just take a top out that direction. Wouldn't have been nice to just drop the tree out there, leaned out there. All right, watch out, children. Flat. See, I'm not going to do it for you. I was going to show you the wiggle wobble and how if you're wiggling the stem too much below you, you can cause weaknesses you didn't know about to reveal themselves. A lot of times these trees can be stronger in the top than they are somewhere down the stem. I don't know, I just see trees break below where you would be afraid to climb to, but for the wrong reasons. Your fear would be. Anyway, I hope you know what I'm saying. I don't know if you do. Flat. So the way I did that, the first one, a regular standard notch, I could tell was going to make it land flat. But I came down and I kept the same length of log, so I knew it would be under rotated if I made the same notch. So I made the notch more open so that it turned more before it came off. It's not just a 1/5 rule that gets you flatness. It has to do with where you're cutting, because you don't always want to cut 1/5 of the tree, but you do always usually want to be flat. Okay. This one I might have to give a little span English to it. Flat. Max looked at this harness and he says, "Hey, it's the Monkey Weaver 2.0. And I thought, That was a pretty cool thing to say. A lot of us guys have gotten our start and made our living in dollars on weaver stuff for years. I did. I'm glad that I can now improve on something that already worked. This one has no notch. So with these, you can shove it off and then push the butt like that to get the butt to catch up with the other one, or you can try to do the cool rotate sort of gut feeling flatness like that, flat. You gotta practice. You gotta spend time out there playing with them to get what you want. You don't just get it right away. You don't even get your face cuts and back cuts and undercuts to line up when you first doing this stuff. You make all kinds of mistakes. What I would do when I was younger is I would just keep pretending it was going to be perfect this time, but I would keep the pace up. I would keep moving quick, and then pretty soon I got pretty good at it, and at it quick. Like this one, if I just let it tip off, it's for sure going to Indo. But if I give it a little English, it's going to be really nice. Watch. Flat. Okay. Well, it was a B minus. I gave it a little too much. Did you see that? Oh, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. The bottom of this tree right in here, this is all garbage. Okay? There's some better, that's bad grammar. There's better constitution here in the middle, but you can see somewhere down the third or quarter of the height of the tree, it was really bad. And so you'll look out in the woods when you're walking around and you'll see all these dead trees that are busted about right here. So you think about that when you're climbing way above that area and then you're applying forces to it. I'm glad I can do this. I really wish I had that young, strong back. Don't take it for granted, guys. Even if you're low on money or something, or your girlfriend broke up with you, if you have a strong back, just go look in the mirror and say, I got this, because it is such a huge advantage. And there's some people that have to say I got this with a lot worse problems. Flip! I think I can fall it from here, don't you? What do you think, Dorinda? Come over here and untie my base tie, and I'll see you in Baltimore after the election drama.